Let's make beef tallow at home. Well, first things first, when you go to your local butcher, do not ask him for fat, ask him for suet. It is completely different. You're not using muscle fat, you're using the fat that surrounds the kidneys. That's why tallow is expensive. That's why it is very nutrient dense. So you want to ask for suet. All right, I have 3 pounds here. You can either slice it like the way I'm slicing it right now. You can use a meat grinder or a food processor. And for every pound of suet, you need 1 cup of water and 1 tablespoon of salt because we're going to purify it while we render the fat. So don't worry, the salt is not going to be in the final product. I meant to push for 6 hours and I did 8, which is fine, but 6 hours on low. If you can, every 1 to 2 hours, go ahead and stir it. Can you do a dry rendering process? You can, but only if you're going to use it for grilling, for cooking only. I still recommend doing the water always because you get that pearly white looking tallow it's just wonderful and versatile. So as you see here, I'm in the PNW, so my kitchen gets really dark very fast, but it's been 6 hours and this baby is ready to go and ready for straining. However, if you used a meat grinder, I recommend you using a cheesecloth on top of the strainer. Now you can use this to make cracklings or you can just render one more time for cooking. This is mostly for skin, so I'm going to continue to render it, but let me show you what it looks like very next day after it was refrigerated. Now the consistency is kind of like shea butter. The more you render it, the harder it will become. But let me show you the gook, all the stuff that sits at the bottom. We don't want that. Now you might say, but Pam, that's just collagen. No, you don't want this stuff to sit with fat. Your fat will go rancid very fast. So you just want to go ahead and scrape all the salt, all the impurities. Some people do it twice for cooking as well. But if you don't want to, just go ahead and remelt the fat and transfer into like a mason jar or the jar that you're going to be using. But no, I don't eat that. Okay, and like I told you, I use it one last time, but that rendering is for cooking. I highly recommend you guys buying a mini slow cooker if you do this a lot, especially if you're going to use this for skin products. So I'm going to do it on low here for 4 hours, 1.5 cups of water, and a heaping tablespoon of salt, and I'll continue to do it. And I'll show you guys on part 2 how to make tallow for skin and how the final product looks like.